Oh my God.
911.
It's 2 Blake Street.
What's the address?
Please hurry. It's 2 Blake Street. There's a fire. There's a fire. I'm trying to...
Ma'am, what's
2
on
Blake
fire?
Street. The TV, I don't know. My son, stepson is in his room, and I don't know. He did something with the TV. I was sleeping. I fell asleep.
See flames or smoke?
Yes. Come on, Steph. Come on.
Okay, can you get...
Yes, we need an ambulance, please.
Okay.
Please, we need an ambulance.
Ma'am, all right, you said something's on fire and now you need an ambulance. What's going on there?
Yes, his room. The TV in his room.
Did he get injured? Is he on fire?
Yes, he's injured. Please, send the ambulance.
Ma'am, I'm going to send the ambulance. I need to know what's going on and why they're going out there. Where is he injured?
I don't know. He's I don't know. He's kind of passed out. He's out of it. Please. Oh my God! It's like all the power in the house is out. I don't know if it blew a fuse.
Okay, ma'am, just get out of the house, okay?
Yes, I'm gonna call my daughter.
All right.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is, and in case you missed it, and we are talking about Waterbury's son. That is what I'm naming him all throughout these videos. He is not currently giving his name for the public, and we know why. They're calling him the male victim. So in my videos, I refer to him as Waterbury's son. They, the community in Waterbury, Connecticut, the people outside of Waterbury, Connecticut, everybody that is involved with trying to help this young man get his life together, get his health together, everything. They have done a hell of a lot more for him than his deceased father and his stepmother. The only reason why I decided not to bring his mother into this situation, because I've read the past situations involving his mom, and she had gave up custody when he was young, and his father was supposed to take care of him, and he did not. She went to look for him when he was 18, but she could not find him. He had no records anywhere, no death records, no arrest, nothing. He does not exist, but he did exist. That's just it. He did exist, and it would be decades later that we would find that out. We found that out February 2025, that this young man exists. So for those of you who might be behind on this tragic story, again, I do have a playlist. It's titled Waterbury's Son. So you can go look at the other 2 videos that I've done if you'd like to catch up on how I am discussing this story. So again, it's understandable that this boy that turned to a man that was held captive, name isn't publicly announced in the news media, but we know that there are teachers, there are people that remember this boy. I'm saying boy, even though he's 32, I'm saying boy because this is the last time when they seen him. He was a boy. 19 years he was held captive by his father and stepmother behind a multitude of locks on a bedroom door. Then his father would pass away January 2024, and his stepmother would continue honoring her late husband's wishes by continuing the abuse, the starvation, and the neglect of this young man. That's when the son, I believe it was February 17th, that's when he decided he couldn't take anymore. He remembered his stepmother pulling him out of school in the 4th grade. He had no friends. After that. He remembered how when he was 12, he dressed up as a fireman, and that was the last time that he celebrated a holiday. It was Halloween. And then he remembered other things, like he remembered he gets 2 books. He would receive 2 books per year. One was a dictionary, and he said he self-educated himself with the dictionary. We also would find out that he has 2 sisters by Kimberly, Sullivan, and his father has 2 daughters together. I'm thinking those are his father's daughters. That's what I believe. Not certain, but that's what I believe. Even if they're not, even if that was not their father, which I think so. I think that was their father. I'm not certain, but it doesn't matter because they were all in the same house, is what I'm trying to get at. So he has 2 sisters that live in that home, and they knew that he was behind all these locks as well, and they did nothing. They said nothing. As they got older, they continued this. They even have, one of the sisters has a boyfriend that comes to the home and knows that he's locked away there and never bothered to tell anyone or tell anyone that would do anything about it. Never bothered to call the police, never bothered to, again, ask anyone for help. I mean, no one thought this was wrong. No one thought that this was wrong, that a grown man had been locked for 20 years in a room. No one thought that was wrong at all. He recalls a time where he helps his father do yard work outside. He was about 14 or 15 years old. And he also recalls that they brought the stuff that they gathered from a yard to another part of the town. And he also recalls being at, I believe it was a family event like Christmas, and an uncle was talking to him and how the stepmother intervened, almost like she didn't want him to talk. And I'm thinking, maybe this uncle seen that something was wrong, because this was, the earlier parts of the neglect compared to what we hear how the neglect is now. So she intervened and nothing was said. I guess the uncle couldn't find, I don't know what was happening, but he did state that, he couldn't talk. She was afraid that he probably was going to say something. So he was thinking about all this. Like, I have to get out of here. I have to figure out something. And he managed to get a lighter, some copy paper, and some sanitizer and make that small fire so that he could get help. And that's what he did. So he was captured by several firefighters, and they said they'll never forget that call. Never. And they actually have, it's somewhere on YouTube. I was looking at it. They actually have where he was rescued. And they said that they'll never forget that day that they rescued him. They thought that he was a child. He was curled up in a fetal position on the kitchen floor. He was 5'9", 68 pounds, emaciated, dirty, hair matted, teeth rotted. He was conscious, though, and he was alert, but he had difficulty speaking. And that is when the story would begin. We would find out what has been going on at 2 Blake in Connecticut. We'd find out. He told the firefighters that once the fire began, he purposely started it. He had stomped and stopped and called for help. This is what the warrant is stating. He stomped so that someone could come up there and help him. And that's when Kimberly Sullivan, she opened the door and he collapsed there at the front of the steps. She made him get up. Now, mind you, it's fire, it's smoky. He started it and he collapsed there. She says, get up. She tells him to go downstairs to a bathroom there, wash his face. She wanted him to look better for the firemen. Can you believe that? So I guess she thought by him washing his dirty face was going to make him appear better. How was she going to make him gain 100 pounds in 5 minutes? Because he only weighed 68 pounds and he's 5'9". So how was she going to make him gain at least 100 pounds? How was she going to make his teeth healthy and straight and white? How was she going to do this? How was she going to make his hair unmatted? Like washing his face? That was not going to help the situation at all. At all. When his sister and her boyfriend arrived, she told them to get the screwdrivers and remove the locks from the doors. And in my other video, I stated that no matter what happens, they're going to go back and look in there. They're going to see what's going on with these doors. And that's exactly what they did. So I don't care how many screws they tried to take off that door. You can see that there was something going on with these doors. That's when, again, he would collapse in the kitchen and she told him to get up, but he didn't. He didn't. And that's a good thing he didn't. That's when the firefighter helped him up and carried him out to the ambulance. Now, we all know that Kimberly Sullivan was arrested, and unfortunately, she would later post bond after she pled not guilty. That's what she did. She's saying she's not guilty. She's saying that she's dumb, founded, that the accusations of her stepson, that he's even saying anything like this, she can't believe it. She can't believe it, right? She can't believe that her stepson would say that. She admits to not holding him hostage at all. Now, the pictures of the Waterbury home, they're being shown. And I think this was actually worse than jail. I said that it's like he was in jail, but no. This is worse than jail at all. This is worse than jail. And for those of you that haven't been to jail, I'm going to tell you why. Jail would have been a better option if you had to pick. Because number one, if you're in jail, at least you're able to go outside for 1 hour and get air and get sun. Not there. Not at 2 Blake you couldn't. Not at all. He was only allowed to let the dog in and let the dog out. Maybe take trash out, something like that. Stay outside for a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes tops. He wasn't able to stay outside like that. Not at all. In jail, you get 3 hots. You get breakfast, you get lunch, and you get dinner. But not there. Not at 2 Blake, you don't. You get 2 sandwiches. Your choices of peanut butter, egg sandwich, or tuna sandwich. That was it. That was all he got. Now, I'm not saying that's all he had for the whole 20 years, but that is pretty much what he got. That was the gist of his meals that he would get. And she would give him 2 cups of water, that he was so thirsty that he would drink from the toilet. That's how thirsty he was. And this is a toilet that he was drinking from. Gross. But he's dehydrated, he's hungry, he's thirsty. And he did everything that he could do to get where he is right now, alive, right? So if drinking out that toilet got him to where he is, so be it. So be it. In jail, you get recreational time. You get to go to the law library where you get to make calls and you get paper to write with, but not here, not at 2 Blake, you don't. In jail, you even get visitors, but not there. He has siblings that probably mocked him, didn't care less that he was in there at all. They were living their own lives, glad that they weren't in there probably, which is disgusting and terrible, but no. And the number one thing that you do get in jail is you receive medical and dental. You do. He never received anything. I'm pretty sure he was sick in that house. I'm pretty sure. But he never was able to see a doctor or a dentist. Everything stopped pretty much when he was 11, 12. Everything. Everything stopped. Which is horrible. And the one thing about jail, you committed a crime and that's why you got there. This little boy was 11, 12. He didn't commit any crime except be his father's son. That's what ended up happening. That's why he ended up getting all this time at 2 Blake. So after he was rescued from the firefighters, he told them that he hadn't bathed in about a year or 2. I don't know why, but he had a lot of discussions with the firefighters, the first rescue team, and other people after that. Now, I know certain things that they will allow for the media to know. Certain things they're going to hold back because they're using it for court. So we're getting bits and pieces, almost daily about certain situations that went on in that home. Now, Kimberly Sullivan, she's free on bond right now, and she has to wear a GPS tracker. And her attorney, Leanis Kilotis, I believe his name is, he said, quote, "I know everyone wants to crucify her. Everyone has already convicted her, but that's not how it works. The burden is not going to shift to the defense. The burden has to rest in the state," end quote. And all you have to do is look at him. I don't care, Cleotis. All you have to do is look at him. They're going to have pictures of how he looked when he was arrested, and that's the burden right there. Yeah, the state has to prove it, but the way he looks in pictures, he might not even want to testify, whether he does or not. They're saying that he was free to leave. Who would choose, unless they have really some type of mental problem, who would choose to stay in a room for 20 years from the time they're 12 to they're 32? Who would choose that type of life? And even if you do have some type of mental illness going on, there has to be an adult in the house to still provide you with the health care that you still need. So I'm not even trying to hear that. There's a lot of people with mental issues right now that get up every morning and they go to work. And you see that, they don't have it all there, so to speak, but you see it. There's people right now bagging groceries. There's people right now, greeters at Walmart, that have special needs, and we know it, but they're out there, they're making money. So they cannot, this family here cannot say that they locked him in this room for 2 decades because he had a mental illness, because it's not even stated in his school situation when he was in school for 4 grades that he was mentally ill. So they can't even use that. So the Connecticut residents have raised $200,000 so far for him and counting, so that he can get what he needs to continue getting healthy and everything else that he'll need financially. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot. His health care alone is going to be a lot. Now, a warrant states that he's being treated for starvation and his condition is life-threatening. So I really do hope he pulls through. I hope he is able to testify. And I hope that this woman gets some good significant time. She needs to. She needs to give her the 20 years that she took from him. Yeah, her husband is dead now, so he can't serve any time, on earth. But she needs to go down. And these adult daughters, I know her daughters are adults now. Yeah, they need to testify everything that they know. Everything. They need to cop pleas and testify, because I think that they're just as responsible. If not, they need time too. I really think that 20 years they had this child in there, neglected, starved, he said abused. And I think something else was going on there. But as I look at this case, when I check it out, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe they're holding it for court. But I think he was locked in there for a reason. I do. And I think that afterwards, they didn't know what to do with him now. I honestly do. I think something else was going on. And that horrible father is gone now. And she just doesn't feel like she's going to take the downfall. She's probably going to blame everything on her deceased husband. But you know what? Like I stated in my other video, if you felt like you were a victim too, then you know what? 15 seconds after my husband passed away, I would have been on the phone calling the police saying, look, my husband just died and I need y'all to get over here and look and see what's in this room. That's what I would have done. But there's no way in hell I'm going to be living in a house for years, let alone months, let alone weeks, let alone days. I couldn't even live in a house with somebody locked in a room for days. I would feel weird. Like, why is this person locked in the room? No. So we know something else was going on, but I know we're getting bits and pieces. We're getting spoon-fed because there's a trial coming up. So justice for Waterbury's son.
Over here, go down the road.
Get stuff out!
Come on, come down, come down.
Come on, down.
Who else is in the house? Who else is in here? Do you live
My
here?
stepson is in here.
How many other
Help
people?
him out.
Listen,
That's
you
it.
have to
I
go
have 2 cats.
Everybody's out?
Yes.
But your stepson's still inside?
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay,
yes.
come out. Come down the road. Come on, come on. It's not safe to stay here. Come on.
All right, here he is. All right, my dog is shaking.
I know. Come down here. That's true. 87 code 3 victim. Fire victim.
Okay.
Come on.
My dog
87's
is,
right here.
I
Come
know
on.
my dog.
I know. Come on.
I'm coming.
You're seeing it. Got one victim right here. I need you to stay over here.